I am a daughter, a mother, a wife, and a friend. What led me to dance? When I was 6 years old, my uncle was a dance instructor, dance director, had a company named Mahogany Dance Theater of Dallas, and they had a show, a concert at a theater, and it was called Pyramid Beyond the Darkness. And when I went to the theater to see this show, I instantly knew that's what I wanted to do. That's what I had to do. And I was the type of girl who, I looked up to my older cousins, and everything that they did, I wanted to do. Everywhere they went, I wanted to go. But when I saw them get up and dance, that company get up and dance, I knew that I didn't want to follow them around. I didn't want to be what everybody else was. I wanted to dance. I wanted to do what they were doing on the stage. And that's how it all happened. I begged my grandmother at that point to let me dance. And it took a long time for her to allow me to. I think she had her own personal fears of what, would open up if I was to start dancing at such a young age. With a group of adults, of course it was ballet, modern jazz. It wasn't anything provocative, but, I was still the youngest one, and I was, the granddaughter that was always kind of protected because of what I'd been through previously. So it took her a long time to give me an okay to do it, but once she did, I was there. My grandmother had always told me that I needed to write a book about my life. I grew up in sunny South Dallas, which was, a lower class community in Dallas, had a lot of gang violence. And my mother had mental illness. She was very abusive at the time. There were times where she would leave me and my twin brother, who had Down syndrome. She would leave us at home, and she would just be gone for days, and we wouldn't know where she was. And, we had several accidents. My brother burned his chest with hot coffee, pulling it down from a table. I was running through the house and tripped and fell, and I split my tongue. So, we just didn't have anyone to take care of us, because my mom was rarely there. And then when she was there, she was abusive. I had problems in school. I was depressed. So I flunked second grade, flunked third grade. So school wasn't an outlet for me. So my grandmother just felt like, people need to know your story. You'll be able to affect people by your story, so you should write a book. So that's what led me to write a book. I titled it, I Am an Open Book, My Side of the Story, because growing up, even though I was going through all of those things, I was always silent. I never talked about anything other than what I was dealing with my mom, between my grandmother and I, but I didn't open up about a lot of stuff. I was nearly raped, didn't tell anyone. There were times I think I was hallucinating and didn't tell anyone. I just went through so much, and I felt like no one would believe me if I, because I was young. Maybe, what I would say would sound false. It would sound like I was making it up. So I was silent. So I just never talked. But I got to a point in my life where I just could not be silent any longer, because I wasn't free. I grew up, but I was still struggling on the insides. I was never free. So I just decided one day I need to talk. I need to let this out. And it still felt like, even though I was very silent, my life was still exposed, because everybody knew what Kristen was going through. Everybody felt sorry for Kristen. Everybody felt sorry for just my brother. Everybody felt sorry for us. And the whole community knew what we were going through. But I was still silent in spite of that. And even though everyone knew what we were going through, nobody did anything. Nobody said anything. So I wrote the book, my side of the story. I am an open book, my side of the story. You can go online to barnesandnobles.com and purchase the book. You can also go to Publish America and you can go to publishamerica.com and purchase the book. You can also go to Amazon and purchase the book. When my mother died, even though she was very abusive, she had mental illness. There was a reason why she was abusive. But even though she was like that, that was still my mom. And she was all I had. And I don't know my father. So when she died, that was just a big chunk of life taken from me. And it felt like stolen life, because I never got to do the mother-daughter things with her. I never really got to know her for who she was. I had cousins that told me, when they were growing up, she was their favorite aunt.